Hi, good evening everybody. In this video, the 16 players left that are non-UFAs. Is there any possibility of moving some of these guys? Let's take a look at it. Coming up. All right. I wanted to go through the rest of the guys and see what we think. And I got to get to my notes. I know. I've just been busy, guys. I've been really busy the last few days. But I'm back home, and I wanted to jump on this before I do the pre-game video for tonight's game against Calgary. And I want to look at these. I wanted to look at it. Now, we got 11 forwards, 5 defensemen, no goalies. Again, who's in our plans? Who we're going to keep? So I've got everybody listed there with their cap hit. I didn't bother putting the ages because most of us know who's young and who's not. And yeah, let's break it down. Let's look at it and see what's possible and what we think might happen, might not happen. Because this will be the last video I do before the deadline, you know. So let's take a look at it. Now, forwards. Skinner is under contract the next 5 years at $9 million. Okay? I don't see anybody wanting to bite on that contract, guys. I just don't. I don't see anybody coming after us, making some sweet offer or anything like that. I just, you know what? I think we're stuck with that contract. And if Skinner's playing like he is right now for the next, let's say the next 3 years, maybe the last 2 years, whatever, it doesn't matter at that point in a way. But if we can get something out of that contract, if 4 of the 8 years are good, we had 2 bad years, this is 1 good year. And if we can get 3 more out of the last 5 years, good hockey from this guy, I think we can live with this contract. It's not the joke everybody made it out to be now. So Skinner, I say is, I'm just going to give you who I think is going to stay and who's possible. Who is possible? You know what I mean? There is possibles here. I think Skinner, no, not a chance because of his contract. Okposo, I'm going to put as a possible, believe it or not, but on the condition we send him to a team that has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. That's it. Do I think he's going to move? No, I think he's staying. But I'm putting he's a possible. I don't think the guy bleeds blue and gold, you know what I mean? So I don't think Okposo is going to be moved, but if something comes up where we have to look at it and the team's offering something that's substantial, we have to look at it and talk to him and ask him how he feels. That's the proper way to do it with a vet like this who's been around this long. Because I don't think he'll be moved, though. For the record, I don't think he'll be moved. But if we have a chance to get a ring on his finger and get something back in the process of doing it, it would be the right move then. You know what I mean? Let's say we send him to Colorado or something, and they're offering to give us something really good back. Then we have to look at it, guys. We do, because his career is almost done. His career is almost over. So Okposo is a possible. I got as a possible. Tuck, he's a keeper. You know, he's a keeper. If Tuck was 35, I might say otherwise, but he's not. So Tuck's a keeper. Middlestat, I got as a possible in my head. I know he's young and everything. Everything that could go wrong has went wrong for him this year, it seems, eh? But I'm just saying as a possible, because sometimes players get moved that you don't expect. This is why I'm putting possibles. You know, I'm going to let you know the ones I think we have to move too. Gergensons, I got as a possible. Yeah, and him too. He loves being a Sabre, so, you know, these are things we got to take into consideration. If, you know, the right thing would be if you move any of especially the older guys, you make sure you set them up with a chance to win a cup. You make sure. You don't send them somewhere like Philadelphia or something. You know what I mean? That's in a mess like we are right now. No, then you don't do it. Bjork, I say yes. He is going to be, I think we're going to move him, but can we get anything? I don't know. Because we have to start shifting up the roster, no matter what. I think Bjork will be gone. Tage, About a year and a half ago, I would have said, get him out of here. Not now, no way. Tage Thompson's a keeper. Cousins is a keeper. So's Krebs. Now, here we go. Here's the controversial ones. The ones where some of you guys get your feelings hurt. Asplin. I say, it's a possible. These guys are possibles, but we're not going to get nothing for them if we move them. We're just not. You know, so possible. It would have to be a package deal or something, I figure. And Olofsson I got as a possible. Even though he's picked up his game a bit lately, I still got Olofsson as a possible. The one I do think that will maybe be zoned in on will be Bjork. I don't know what we can get for him. Really, a fourth? I don't know. Really? So yeah, I got 5 here. I just don't think. I don't think these guys here we have to worry about at all, really. And the only reason I would say Okposo and Gergensons really, at this point in their careers, are older. If they're never going to have a chance to win a cup in Buffalo at their ages. And if we can set up these guys to have a shot somewhere, it's the right thing to do. It really is. And our leadership will be fine. And we'll see. We'll see. You know, it's hard to tell. Okay, let's go over to the defenseman. Dahlin, no, we know he's a keeper. Without a doubt, Dahlin's sticking around. Yoki Haru. I'm going to put him as a possible. As crazy as it sounds and how he's kind of gotten better this year, I'm still going to put him as a possible. Is he in our long-term plans? I don't know. God, you would think yes, right? Because he's played so much top minutes, but because, you know, the emergence of Samuelsson really gives us options, especially we know Power's coming in. Samuelsson, I say, is a keeper. What I've seen with him. The guys that are making nothing, really. For us, it's a rich, who wouldn't like to make that, eh? But for the guys making nothing in against the cap, they're sticking around. Fitzgerald also, he's sticking around. Bryce, and don't forget, Olofsson will be RFA. I did put the RFAs on there too, right? This is why Olofsson and Bryson cut the list. Bryson, I got him as a possible in my head, guys. Now, the odds are we might move 2 of these guys, maybe. Bjork being one of them, I'm guessing. So we know what the core is, just looking. The young core. And I don't want to, I'm not writing off Yoki Haru. I'm not at all. But if some kind of a 3-for-3 package, if Adam swings something huge, I'm talking a huge deal, then you got to look at everything. I remember when Bowman made that big deal back in the early 80s and sent off Gare and Don Edwards, and you know, he said it was a monster deal. Might talk about it sometime in a video. That was one of the biggest deals in our history at the time. And that was when he was doing the rebuild. He knew he was starting a team again. So these are the guys that I think are possibles, just possibles. You know, I think Bjork is probably the one they're going to target on to move and try and get a pick for. Besides, of course, the unrestricted. I don't know, because we can't go with the same exact roster next year. We can't have like 85% of the same guys, or we're going to have 85% of the same kind of season. We'll be a bit better because we'll be older. But at the same time, you know, we've got to look at this, and if we can make a deal that makes sense for our future, we have to do it, especially with the guys in their 30s. Especially. Now's the time. Now is the time. I mean, I can hack Okposo's contract for another year. I think we all could, what he's brought to the team this year. You know, Gergenson's been out all year with injury, you know, and he's not by any stretch of the imagination old and washed up either, you know. Okposo's in the twilight of his career right now, but if you're looking at the rest of it, I mean, it looks pretty healthy, you know what I mean? I mean, Asplin and Olofsson also, I could see them targeting them in trades. I could. If if we get something worth doing. It has to be something worth doing. It has to be something that if I make a video on it, we make this deal, guys. We're not all screaming, saying, oh my God, what have the Sabres done, right? I mean, are they crazy? Like, you know, I think we can get something for some of these guys that I got as possibles. You know, Jokiharju and Bryson, we could definitely get something for those guys. Would it make sense to trade him? Is Bryson in our long-term plans? Is Jokiharju? I'm starting to wonder. Because when I look at guys like, you know, even Fitzgerald, the way he's played, you know, Samuelsson, Dahlin, for me, stand out right now. They really do. They stand out. And Jokiharju has played well, you know, and even Bryson, to some degree, has really, you know, picked up his game. But that's the time when you got to make the trade, I believe. You know, not when the player's playing bad. Nobody's going to want Asplund. He hasn't got a goal in, like, what is it, 43 games or something, you know? So something to think about. We'll talk about. I'll catch up my notes later on, guys. I've got to make another video and get the hell out of here again and get back in time for the game. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next video. See you then.